the brave little whale who saved the ocean. In the vast, deep blue ocean lived a young whale named Willa. Willa wasn't the biggest or the strongest whale in the ocean, but she had a heart as big as the sea. She loved the ocean and all its creatures, from the tiniest shrimp to the largest dolphins. The ocean was her home and she wanted to make sure it stayed beautiful and safe for everyone. One day, a terrible thing happened. A dark cloud of pollution began to spread across the ocean. It was the result of a large ship that had accidentally released tons of waste into the waters. The beautiful coral reefs started to fade, the fish began to get sick, and the seaweed forests, which were home to so many creatures, began to wither away. The ocean's creatures began to panic. They didn't know what to do. The coral reefs, once so full of color, were turning a sad, dull gray. Willa heard the cries of her friends and decided that something had to be done. Though she was small compared to the mighty blue whales and feared by many in the ocean, she couldn't bear to see her home suffer. Willa knew that the task ahead of her was daunting, but her love for the ocean made her brave. She traveled to the deepest part of the ocean, where she met the wise old sea turtle named Marlin. Marlin had seen many things in his long life and knew that Willa was special. He told her that the only way to save the ocean was to find the great whirlpool, a mystical force of nature that could clean the waters and restore balance. However, the great whirlpool was hidden deep in the ocean's heart, and only the bravest and most determined of creatures could find it. Willa set off on her journey, her heart full of hope but also fear. She encountered many obstacles along the way. First, she had to navigate through a massive underwater canyon, where strong currents tried to pull her off course. Willa's strength was tested, but she refused to give up. She sang songs of hope, calling out to the creatures of the ocean to encourage them to join her quest to save the ocean. The next challenge came when Willa had to swim through a dark, eerie trench filled with strange, glowing creatures. These creatures were known to frighten even the bravest whales. Willa, however, remained calm for the glowing creatures around her. She knew that fear was only temporary. She swam through the trench, her determination shining brighter than finally. After days of swimming, Willa reached the great whirlpool. It was even more magnificent than she had imagined. The waters chummed and spun with such force that Willa could barely keep her balance. But she didn't hesitate. She dove right into the whirlpool, trusting that it would take her to the heart of the ocean. Inside the whirlpool, Willa found the ocean's heart, a crystal of pure blue light. The heart was the source of the ocean's power and balance. Willa touched the crystal, and as she did, a wave of light and energy spread of the ocean were healed. Through the ocean, the pollution began to disappear, the coral reefs slowly came back to life, and the creatures when Willa returned to the surface, the ocean was sparkling once again. The creatures of the sea gathered to thank her for her bravery. She had not only saved the ocean but had also shown them all that bravery comes in many forms, and sometimes even the smallest creatures can make the biggest difference.